Hello guys, my name's Tim from the Wii Gamers, and today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 reasons to play Chaos Reborn, which is a recently released turn-based strategy game developed by Snapshot Games, a sequel to the popular 1985 game Chaos, and was successfully kickstarted this year in April. So my first reason for playing this game is the graphics style. The first thing that struck me while playing it was it reminded me a lot of playing Warcraft 3, playing the sequel to that, and also some of the mods you could get for the game as well. It's also very reminiscent of Dota and Dota 2. I particularly like the cartoony style graphics, but they're also very sharp. All the spells look very crisp and clean. There's some really nice effects on the spells being cast and on the combat. I love some of the animations. For example, one of the little skeletons will toss his head in the air as an idle animation. There's a lot of care that's gone into it. So my second reason is the turn-based combat system. This reminds me a lot of Warhammer and D&D. So each player gets to do one move or one action for their hero and their minions each turn. And one of the things I like about this is you're limited to one spell cast from a deck of cards per turn. So you can either choose to summon a minion, you can cause direct damage to a minion, or you can buff yourself with a magical weapon or a magical physical shield. So once you cast your spell, a new card is shuffled out of your deck into your hand, and you can cast one of those next turn. The reason I like this particularly is that it adds an extra element of using the cards to the turn-based system. And I'll go on to how the percentage chances come on in a little bit. My third reason for playing this game is mounts. So not only can you summon minions, there are certain minions which you can actually ride around the battlefield, which is immensely satisfying. For the neutral spells, you've got the elephant, for the chaos spells, you've got the manticore, and for the law spells, you've got the unicorn, and all of these are great fun to ride around. Add to that the manticore can also fly, meaning that it gives your hero that option of flying around the battlefield, escaping sticky situations where you're hemmed in by trees or by piles of sticky goo, which is another of the great spells, and just gives you that extra manoeuvrability, plus it gives you the extra protection because your mount will die before you do. My fourth reason to play the game, and this is one of my favourite reasons, is every time you cast a spell, it's got a percentage chance that it will cast. However, there's actually a chance every time you're not going to successfully cast your spell. So for example, there have been times where I've tried to cast a very high percentage chance minion, like a dwarf, which is 90%, or an eagle, which is 80%, and they've actually failed. But there have also been times where I've had a very high power minion, which has a lower percentage chance, succeed. So I think this adds a really dynamic element to the combat. There have been times where we've been playing the game and one person's ended up losing the game simply because a couple of their casts have failed and they've not boosted them a bit. But speaking of boosting, every time you kill a minion, you charge up your staff with mana crystals. And you can choose to either save those mana crystals and to use your staff to charge a mega spell, which could be an enormous magic attack or summoning a small army, or you can use those mana crystals to boost the percentage chance of your spell succeeding. So this adds a nice tactical element to the combat, choosing whether you want to have more minions on the field or give you a better chance of summoning them, or whether you want to save them up to charge your mega spell, which can be devastating but can take a very long time as well. So I love this percentage chance cast element to the combat. I think it really adds to the strategy element and also an element of randomness. And finally, my fifth reason for playing Chaos Reborn is the new feature called Asynchronous Play. And this means that you can play a distance game with somebody without having to both be online at the same time. Very similar to playing chess by post or by email. So asynchronous play, I think, is a fantastic idea by Snapshot. It just opens up playing the game for people who are in different time zones around the world. It doesn't matter now, if you're 12 hours apart, one of you could take a turn and then the other person gets told by email that it's their turn, and they can then take it and it just bounces back and forth. I love how you can just take your time with this. There's no pressure to do the game in a certain amount of time. And I think it will really open up games like this to people who traditionally haven't been able to get online for an hour and a half to be able to play a game like this. So people with families, people who've got quite tight time commitments, maybe this is a game which is going to open up new alleys for people to play. I think it's a smashing idea by Snapshot, and all credit to them. So there you go, there are my 5 top reasons for playing Chaos Reborn. The graphics look absolutely brilliant, very crisp, lovely animations as well. The turn-based combat is very dynamic, there's some great strategy elements in only being able to choose one spell, summon or buff per turn. The mounts add an awful lot of fun to the battles, and it means your hero is a lot more mobile. The percentage chance cast adds an element of randomness to the combat, which actually is remarkably satisfying, seeing your opponents fail. But it also makes you think, actually, how do you want to charge your mana crystals? Do you want to save them for your big spell, or do you want to blow them all on summoning a sapphire dragon, which is going to destroy everything in front? And finally, the asynchronous play, which I think is one of the best features of playing the game with other people. This game is designed for multiplayer. We've played everything from 1v1 to 2v2, 4on4, and it just gets bigger and bigger. I think this game could be a real hit when it comes out. And currently it's available on pre-order on Steam for about $20, so about £15. We'd also like to take a time just to say thank you to our gaming network Marquee Dragon for giving us 2 review copies, which all this footage is from. But thanks very much for checking out the video. If you've enjoyed watching our Chaos Reborn 5 top reasons to play, then do check out the other Chaos Reborn gameplay channels, videos we got on the channel, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks very much.